When one thinks of Mecca, one usually associates it with the famous place in Saudi Arabia, known for its mass pilgrimage called the Hajj, which is one of the fundamental pillars of Islam that every Islamic person who is capable is expected to perform at least once in their lifetime. But there's another Mecca in the California desert that many also flock to, the Mecca Hills Wilderness area near Mecca, California, not far from the top end of the Salton Sea. This 26,000 acres of desiccated earth is a mecca for hikers, particularly in the winter months when temperatures are more tolerable. This part of the Colorado Desert once reached an all-time record high of 126 degrees. Rain rarely falls here, and when it does, it generally only comes down during a few winter months, and then only averages less than 4 inches per year, and some years getting less than 2 inches. The barren land here is subjected to the wrath of brutal dust storms in addition to the intense heat. Yet even here there is life. The area is punctuated by a few stray Ocotillo plants, catclaw acacia, or even a palo verde tree here and there. Or you might find an ironwood or a smoke tree. There's also animal life, such as reptiles and birds, like this one flitting around a catclaw bush, and bats, too. There's also the remains of a rarely seen animal that I'll show you later. Within this region of sun-baked hills are numerous canyons, slithering, snaking, serpentine chasms that can be so narrow that some have difficulty passing through them. They are the product of eons of erosion brought forth by water and to a lesser extent wind. And there is also another sculptor, tectonic forces. The San Andreas Fault isn't far away. Among the creases and folds of the landscape can be found many surprises awaiting those willing to venture into these hinterlands. As you'll see, there are trails where one must climb ropes and ladders in order to make passage. Join me, the rock hopper, as I delve deep into the heart of this badlands labyrinth. But first, it's time to camel up, as I call it. So here we go. All right, we're ready. When I first discovered this place, there were like 3 cars in the entire parking lot. Of course, that was probably about 15 or more years ago. But now, it has definitely been discovered. Let's check it out. There's another reason I didn't want to carry that water, and you'll see why in a bit. So we're going up this cool rock canyon, and you've got these trees which look to be palo verdes growing in the wash. Big, nice rock walls. The hiker should give you a sense of scale. Life here is tenacious and enduring, like this catclaw bush growing out of solid rock. We're gonna go up this side canyon here, slither between these big rock walls. Someone took the time to scrawl an eagle into the rock. It is defacing nature, but at least it was kind of pretty. It's like a rock hopper's paradise. Come on. Check this out. We've got some ladders here in the canyon. And another bigger ladder. This one's probably about 20 feet. So up we go. And looking to the top. Getting into some nice slot canyon action now. And we've lost most of the people quieter in here. I can touch each side of this because it's only a few feet wide. all carved by water and a little bit of wind at times. Sometimes a lot of wind, but mostly water in here. Some guys like their canyons a bit wild and slotty. I might be one of those guys. As you can see, these walls are really close. I can easily touch both sides. Onward. Yeah, this is getting really narrow right in here. Not quite, but I can almost, well, yeah, almost touch my fingertips here and get my elbow to the rock here, so half an arm's length. Okay, we got another ladder here. We'll zip right up this thing. It opens up a bit up here. Definitely has opened up a bit. But who knows what awaits us. And I'm seeing some sky, so I think we're getting to the top of something here. Well, we are definitely out in the open more here. And I do believe we're coming up to the top of the cliffs. We're continuing to snake through this area here, but the walls are nowhere near as high, and the landscape is far more open than the slot canyon we just went through. Must have been some rain this year here, because there is some life here. Even though it's small, it's just starting out, I guess. I think we could even take a pinch of this. And have a little snack. It's just wild mustard. Looks like we have a little fork in the trail. I see something up here. It says up. Go to the left. Want to try it? Might as well. See where it takes us. Somehow, a Palo Verde tree managed to gain a foothold in this wash. Looks like some baby California poppies are doing their darndest to try and grow here. The landscape is opening up a little bit more. But we keep going up this tiny wash. For most of the year, Ocotillo plants are just barren, spiky, brownish-gray stalks, but in the spring these stalks become coated with green leaves, and then the top of the stalks bloom with red flowers, a flower that can be used to make a tea that tastes like hibiscus flower tea. In the old days, ranchers used to use these Ocotillo branches to make fences. With spikes like that, I would imagine it was as good as barbed wire. We're still going up the wash. But we've lost most, if not all, of the tourists. That's interesting. This was part of a plant. These are the roots here. It's quite amazing how it managed to penetrate through this rocky soil. We're approaching another ladder. And I think this one's going to take us up. Well, now I see another ladder up ahead still. Yeah, the ladder ahead there. Coming up to our second ladder. Up we go. Looks like we're almost out now. We are officially out of the canyon. Somebody's been piling up rock cairns and tiny rock cairns. Impossibly balanced rocks. Just another service I offer. I restacked it because the wind blew it over the first time, and it won't be long until the wind knocks it over again. Oh, I guess it'll last a few minutes anyway. There's a few hikers down there as we look down into the main canyon. See them down there in the lower right? Here's a shot looking up canyon. I'm looking down on an entirely different side canyon. This is not the main canyon. Now can you see the ladder? Looks like quite a long ladder. Almost in the middle. Now we're gonna go up and show you how rugged and serpentine this canyon is. I've got to expel some of that liter of water I drank earlier. So I'm gonna water a plant. Think of it as offering sustenance and nourishment and life to the desert. Hello, my friend. Could you use a drink? You look a little dry. Hope that helps out, little plant. Hey, ladies, remember, men are like dogs. They'll pee on anything, anywhere. Whoa, check this dude out. It's a tiny walking stick. The insect. Pretty cool, huh? Now you might think because we're at the top of the canyon that this video is over. But wait, there's more! And it gets even crazier if we can find the trail to the next canyon. So the big question is, do we take trail number 1, trail number 2, or distant trail number 3? I'll take trail number 2, Wayne Brady. Alright, trail number 2, hope it gets us the big prize. So that couple picked trail number 1. And I don't know how successful it is, because it looks like they're coming back. We're gonna stick with trail number 2. You can see it winding off in the distance there. Looks like an epic fail for them, because they've got to come all the way over to here. There's a canyon down there to my left, and I don't know if this trail goes down in there or not. There's a closer look at it. That little canyon just goes to the main canyon down there, and that's what we're looking at right now. I see a little trail off in the distance. I don't know, maybe that one goes somewhere. Or I can stick with this one. I'm gonna backtrack a little here and strike out for that other trail over there. Ready for a descent? Here we go. Rakapa, you have chosen wisely and done well so far. Now you must complete journey to show you are Canyon Master. Enter the Canyon of Doom. You shall have to fight to make your way out. You can do it. It is long way down. You must be careful. This is going to present a predicament. So I've got to get down this thing. And I'm going to try and film it while I'm going. So I'm going to be doing on this rope one-handed. I don't even know that's possible, but I can give it a shot. This is going to be interesting. Kids, don't try this at home. Alright, let's give it a shot. It is straight down. Almost straight. Here we go. Oh, I gotta use that second hand just a little bit here. Whoa, hello. Okay, no problem. Still trying to film for you guys. You know, it wouldn't be that bad with two hands. Whew. But with one hand, it's a little bit trickier. Look, Ma, one hand. Here's a look from the bottom to the top. We got some scrambling and slithering to do down this canyon. Alright, we're going to go under this big boulder and in through here. Well, there's a little bit of water right there. Right there, a tiny bit of water. I could actually do an earthen filter and have a drink of that if I wanted to. But I'm okay, I cameled up pretty well earlier. So let's continue on through the labyrinth. More slots. I like it. Yeah, baby. You know what I like. Another rope, this time just a small one. Small drop off. I'll probably just jump it. But first, now that I'm out of the wind, it's time for a snack. As you probably gathered, there's not much to eat around here, so I did bring an energy bar along with me, a couple of them. So I'll just relax, have a minute, and have a snack. Chocolate dipped coconut. Mmm, good. Well, that was a tasty snack, so let's head on down. Cool canyons. Nice being down in here. Here's a look back. You don't want to be in these slot canyons during a flash flood. People in Utah die quite often when they're caught in the flash floods from the thunderstorms, and there really is no way out. The walls are closing in again. And are we coming up to something, a drop off? Yes, we are. No rope there, but it doesn't look that bad. So as you can see, I just had to kind of put my arms on each side and just jump down this thing. It's about 6 feet, maybe a little over. And we're back down into a very narrow section. Let's see, yeah, I can just, there you go. I can hit my elbow to the wall there, and I can touch my fingertips to the other wall. That's how narrow it is. Not a real good place for large people. You can see what I mean. Oh, another rope. And this one looks a bit tricky. It goes down to another ladder. Looks like one more rope. Time to go under a boulder. A very large boulder. So let's go. It ain't over yet. We got some serious narrows coming up. More scrambling involved. Not for the meek or the timid. Yep, that's seriously skinny. Just slightly wider than my boot. Go under this boulder through the squeeze here. Oh, that's a good squeeze. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Nice squeeze. This is the narrowest part yet. Ooh. All right, that was fun. That'll give you an idea of narrow. Little tiny side canyon, and I see what looks to be a cave up at the top. You guys want to go up and have a peek inside? Really just more of a overhang, like a huge rock fall. Looks like another squeeze here, but you know what? Maybe we'll just go right over the top this time. And looks like this might be our last little ladder. And that looks like it is it, fellow rock hoppers. I think this just takes us down into the main canyon now. All right, my rock hop peeps. I can almost smell the main canyon just around the corner. And there it is. The far wall is part of the main canyon. Rock hopper, you have chosen trail wisely and made safe passage. You have taken on challenge of the canyon and you have succeeded. You have proven once again you are master of your domain. Thank you, Kung Fu Canyon Master. Exiting the canyon, entering the main canyon. Now that arrow's pointing at me. Well, I guess it wouldn't be wrong. On the back of my car, I have something that says, "Adventure is my religion, nature is my church, and the road is my home." I guess danger would be my drink of choice. There's a series of rock cairns here, and I see a side canyon right up through there. So I'm thinking those were markers for somebody to go up there. I think we should investigate. I don't know if those cairns meant anything, but let's go up this pour-off here and have a look. It's a lot steeper than the camera makes it look. Okay, up at the top. Not quite the top, still got a ways to go, but gives you an idea of the steepness. So now we got to go up this thing, and there's another steep bit. So it wasn't a lot easier, but it was doable. The other way had crumbling rocks, and it was quite steep. Came up that steep bit there, and then come on over here, and look at that. water in the desert. So those cairns were a signal to somebody. You can see the footprint of somebody who's been here before. Looks like we're almost to the top, but we got a steep pour-off right up here. Yeah, that pour-off was a little bit too steep, so we're going to come up through these rocks here. We're at the top of this little side canyon, and I'm not sure what was so interesting about it to the guys who hiked it before me. Maybe they were just looking for an adventure, something off the beaten path. It's almost like a paved avenue up here with these rocks. Well, hello, little buddy. Looks like you're catching a bit of sunshine this morning, or afternoon, or whatever it is right now. Alright, well, we'll see you later, little lizard. Have a look at this. It's the skeleton, the shell of a desert tortoise. Look at these plates off its carapace. Desert tortoises spend most of their lives in their burrows. They come out around March to feed. And just so you know, it is illegal to take them home. They are a protected species. So they come out and they eat grass and flowers, cactus flowers, I guess. Fillery, they eat quite a bit of that. They do like strawberries. I have noticed going to the Butterbret off-road area where they have a tortoise called Mr. Bob, who's like 125 years old. Yeah, these guys get to be really old, maybe up to 150 years. And it is kind of rare to see a skeleton in the desert. I've only seen a few in my lifetime. So we're out of the canyon and up at the top. And we have yet more cairns. So it may be that there's a jeep trail on up ahead, up there. And maybe they hike down into the canyon wash and down to the main canyon and then back out. Good enough. We're heading back down into the main canyon now. So maybe there is a jeep trail up there. Because I can't imagine, or I'd like to think, that hikers wouldn't haul up a bottle of spray paint just to do something like this. But this is California, and they're pretty much coating everything with spray paint and graffiti. Everything from railroad cars to natural rock formations. Sometimes it seems a little bit steeper when you're heading back down. But we already have some tiny blooms on a few plants. Okay, we're back down in the main canyon again. We've got a ladder section. Hey, cool. And another ladder. Nice little seep of water behind the ladder. Probably right out of the earth and really pure. Probably drinkable. It's a natural seep. I would drink it if I needed to. Look at the way these rocks are striated with different colors. Plants seem to grow out of solid rock. Now this is a plant that really doesn't belong here. It's a non-native invader called tamarisk, and sometimes called salt cedar. I believe it's from Israel or some part of that region originally. In places like Utah, it's become so prolific and overgrown that it has actually overtaken some of the watersheds. A look downstream, growing on this cat claw acacia, is what appears to be a parasitic plant. Some form of mistletoe, perhaps. There's a little hummingbird right there. Someone has created their own piece of natural artwork. A squadron of ravens flies overhead. The cliffs are getting relatively small now, and the landscape is turning to gently rolling hills. I think we've seen the best of what the canyon has to offer, and it's time to turn back. I've been here a few times, and during one of those I met a cool guy who had also come here to hike. Around sunset, as we were talking while beside our cars in the parking lot, he mentioned another guy who said he was a diabetic and asked if he could buy an energy bar from him for $10 as he needed something to eat and balance his blood sugar. The guy just gave him the bar and kept it in mind that there was a diabetic roaming the canyons without sufficient food or water. We waited until dark, and as no one had returned to the last car in the lot aside from our cars, we got concerned. A diabetic guy in the wilds without food or water and possibly lost could turn into a worst-case scenario. We decided to call search and rescue. Sheriff's cars arrived and a helicopter searched the darkness with a spotlight, but to no avail. I would camp nearby and look for the guy in the morning. When daylight arrived, I searched and learned when I returned to the lot that the diabetic had survived the night out there by cuddling with his dog to help maintain his body heat through the cold night. The Palm Springs TV News interviewed me, and I told them what I knew about the situation, a situation that could have turned out much worse. I hope you enjoyed exploring the Mecca Hills Wilderness area. Don't forget to give me a like on the video, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this is a Rockhopper. I'll see ya.